Hello, my name is Kim Williams from Easy Government and welcome to a webinar on the positive and negative habits for government leaders. This small webinar presentation has been prepared exclusively for the GTR Knowledge Series. We're very excited to be part of it and look forward to engaging with all of you in our Easy Government booth. Positive and negative habits for government leaders is all about being very good with the habits that you put in place as a government leader. And it's very much a very consistent theme with our whole concept of Easy Government, which is all about building government leaders. So this small presentation gives you a bit of an insight into some of the things that we focus on, but particularly focuses on getting your habits right. So what do we mean by government habits? Well, in this little short presentation, we'll go into a little bit more detail on that. We'll focus very much on the importance of making sure that you have positive, proactive habits in place to make sure you can be the most effective government leader that you need to be for your organisation, but also for yourself. Now, when we're looking about habits, I think it's really important to make sure that we focus on the why, the what, and the how. So why do habits matter? What do we need to focus on, and how do we go about developing our habits? So I'm going to go through a little bit of this detail in this short presentation, but you need to get to the core of the why. Our whole goal should be to be a better government leader, to develop the habits that we need to do to be successful, to focus on those habits that are actually going to lead to great outcomes, that are going to allow us to do more with less. So when we're looking at things like habits and looking at positive habits, we want to make sure we're clear on the why. Why do they matter? We'll go in a little bit of detail around the how and the what in this small presentation, but I just want to stress this point. The why is at the core of everything we do, because the why is what shifts us. It moves us, whether it's focusing on our health and fitness, whether it's focusing on the being on the business rather than in the business, whether it's focusing on the things that actually matter in terms of your priorities. It's very important you get clear on your why. Now, the other thing that's really important with habits that I really believe is that excellence is a habit. So to become a more effective government leader, to do the things that you want to achieve the outcomes that your organisation needs you to achieve, it's very important you put in place good, proactive habits. And one of my favourite quotes is from Robin Sharma, who's a leadership guru, who's got some outstanding books like The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari and Leadership Without Title, and many other books that are fantastic. The Greatness Guide is another great book that he's got. He talks about this notion of 1% improvements over time lead to staggering results. And that's what it's about. It's how you put in place proactive habits to get better every day, every week, every month, every quarter, every year. So you can then look back and look at the fact that you're getting better, you're improving every day, your communication's better, your planning's better, your focus on the right things is better. So the notion of focusing on positive habits and proactive habits means that you replace the negative habits with those positive proactive habits. The other thing that's really important with this is to remove the things that are not important. So one of the real challenges, having worked in government, and I worked for 2 local government organisations, and I've also worked for state government in Australia, and the challenges that I found were about saying no, about not trying to keep everyone happy, about not being reactive. And that's a real challenge, I think, for any government leader in any sphere of government. And the challenge is to really focus on the things that matter, and I think this quote's very, very appropriate for that around, it's actually very easy. All I had to do was remove everything that wasn't David in order for Michelangelo to develop the statue of David. That's a little bit of like what being a government leader with great habits is about. It's not only choosing what to do, it's choosing what not to do. And that's also very important when you're looking at the habits that are going to make you the most effective government leader that you can be. Now, what I'm going to do now is just give you a little bit of an entree, a little bit of a sneak peek on what we believe are some of the really effective habits that great government leaders put in place, and that's from our experience working with a lot of government leaders over a long period of time. The goal should be to get world class at our small daily habits. What are the small daily habits that are going to enable us to juggle our time more effectively, manage our time more effectively, achieve the outcomes we're looking to achieve, and more importantly, delivering the outcomes for our organisation? So this one-pager that I'll just show you will go through a little bit of some of the things that I think are important and we think are important as an effective world-class government leader. So what we've done here is put together a little table that explains some of the things that are negative habits that mean that you can often play in the space of being an ordinary government leader, towards some of the positive habits which replace the negative habits, which enable you to become a world-class government leader over time. So here's just a few examples on how this works. And one of the things I would recommend to you is you would tailor this for your own personal circumstances. You'd focus on the habits that make you a great government leader. So we make all these templates editable in Easy Government so that people can actually tailor them for their own specific area, focus, and more importantly, their priorities. But just to take you through a few examples, one of the negative habits is putting off and being fearful of difficult phone calls, whether it be a stakeholder or an elected member or a minister or another department. One of the positive habits that can replace that is scheduling phone calls in your diary at the start of the week to block them out. Not asking for help from others, as opposed to asking for help when needed and asking questions to clarify. Trying to do it all yourself, when I'd argue that collaboration and working with others is really critical in government, different spheres, but also in your own department or government entity, leveraging others to assist. A lack of awareness of what makes a good government leader. Observe others for good behaviours around government leadership, how they interact with the community and how they manage their stakeholders. This is a big one that we often see, a lack of daily planning, which leads to a very reactive approach. And we advocate strongly in Easy Government the importance of daily planning in the morning, top 5 priorities, prioritisation of tasks. Another area is around not having a big picture strategy or business plan for developing your team. Put in place a strategy, track your actions, work with your director or manager to ensure that you hold yourself to account. Being content with current performance as opposed to getting feedback on performance and ways to improve what you do. Expecting others to coach and develop you rather than being proactive about receiving coaching and assistance. Looking at every interaction as an opportunity to learn. Not knowing other service lines within your government organisation. Get familiar with all the services that you provide, and more importantly, look to assist where you can. Other areas, just some small examples, wanting to be fed work from others, waiting for things to happen as opposed to getting involved and putting your hand up to be involved in other areas. And another big one for government leaders is around broadening your network. Not broadening my network versus building my network. So getting out, being proactive in the industry, looking for opportunities to attend conferences and meeting new contacts. So this is just a small example of some of the things that you can focus on as a government leader. The key with this is to think about what are your negative habits and what are the positive habits that you can put in place to make sure that you're focused on the right things. And I just can't stress this point enough, how important it is that you look at this and tailor it for yourself, because I can't make the point more I guess, clear that success is all about your habits. Success is about positive habits, but so is not success is about those negative habits. So your challenge as a government leader is to put in place the habits that work for you. And we go into a lot of detail in relation to that. So hopefully that's been a little bit of an insight into what Easy Government offer. Feel free to come and visit our booth. We'd love to see you at our Easy Government booth. We've got some fantastic free case studies and templates, as well as an opportunity to have a look at a great webinar that we provided exclusively for GTR Knowledge customers and people that come and visit, where we've got a webinar on personal strategic planning along with a free template. We'd love for you to come and see us. Feel free to ask any questions and interact with us, and we really look forward to finding more about your journey as a government leader and what we can do to assist. Thanks very much.